So
the Stanley Cup final. The Flyers and the Oilers.
A little bit of tweak, Chris Versteeg on the line with Mike Richards to develop some chemistry. Haven't really set the world on fire, but Versteeg has 4 goals in his 10 games with the Flyer. And the one thing from watching Chris Versteeg, we now know he really understands how to get open. And I think in this game tonight, playing with Mike Richards and playing with Dan Portillo.
Future, because last year's at the quickest speeder, not the best shot. All he does is score goals. In fact, he scored 50 goals last year for the Regina Pats, and he's got 15 already. So, like I said, the future of the Edmonton Oilers. Good goalies coming up.
Stanley Cup final, Game 3. Coming up with the Flyers.
Tonight's Flyers-Oilers game is Geico. 50 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at Geico.com or call 1-800. Tonight's Flyers-Oilers game is by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at Geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Wells Fargo. When you're considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far. And by your local tri-state Toyota dealers. Go Flyers, go Toyota. Moving forward. It was milestone time for veteran Flyers defenseman Timo Timonen on Saturday.
Edmonton Oilers.
Shorthanded goal of his career. It's also the 100th overall tally of his tremendous NHL run. Timonen in the Flyers
2 years ago
for the Oilers after these messages.
No item in YouTube video player.
In a playoff game.
100th overall tally of his tremendous NHL run. Timonen in the Flyers face off for the Oilers.
2 years later.
Tally of his tremendous NHL run. Timonen career. Flyers face off for the Oilers after these messages.
Of the Oilers. Game 3.
Timonen in the
Stanley Cup final.
For the Oilers after these messages. We'll take a look at the Oilers. They have not played inside the. Ready to go here inside the
Wells Fargo Center for the Game 3 Stanley Cup final match. Between the Flyers and the Edmonton Oilers.
We'll take a look at the starting goaltenders for this one in goal for the Edmonton Oilers. Devin Dubnyk, he has won his last 6 starts. For the Flyers, Sergei Bobrovsky, his last appearance was coming in a relief capacity in the. Well, I guess you could best describe it as the mess of Madison Square Garden on Sunday with the Flyers losing 7-0 to the Rangers.
Complete day off for them yesterday. They're told not even to go to the rink. Sick players hopefully getting better like Jeff Carter. And see what the effort is like here in this one. As Bill said in the open, a very important hockey game for the Flyers. Underway, Flyers in their home. Orange jerseys rolled
level 3. Philadelphia.
Search Oilers, as the puck is set for center. After it. Look at the Flyer line combinations. This changes for Philadelphia. Separating that pass, goes all the way back to the line.
What a start for Game 3! 1-0!
3 Philadelphia Flyers. Using more trip. No item in deep, of course.
Donovan is out for a shot that's blocked in front.
No item in deep.
32 seconds in the first period for this Flyers team in the Stanley Cup. They would be named as the Stanley Cup team. The Stanley Cup Finals in 2010.
After the Flyer line combinations. Changes for Philadelphia. The Flyers in their home
Garden on Sunday with the Flyers losing 7-0 to the Rangers.
Complete day off for them yesterday. We're told not even.
Yeah, we're not 1-0 lead. What a goal by Sean Bittery.
To go to the rink.
Goal, the Stanley Cup final.
6 players hopefully getting better. Like
13th goal this year of this postseason.
Carter. And game for what the effort is like here in this one. As Bill said in the open, a very important hockey game. Changes for Philadelphia's roots.
An awful lot of broadcasting over the years, but the Flyers were on fire in the morning. As active as I've seen them all season.
Through the morning skate today. But the pace was good, so we'll see if it translates to game action. There's the captain of the Oilers. More pump sending it into the Philadelphia zone. As you look at the Edmonton Oilers combinations at the top of your screen, put together by their coach Tom Ray. He turns with the puck, but he's checked and roll on out through center and all the way down. Veteran defenseman Jason Strudwick after. Christopher Steve is after him. Goes in the bump in the corners. The puck bounces high in the air. And now we've got a penalty. A hooking call from Marcus Vinneberg. First European-trained NHL referee.
NHL referee.
Flyers number 20, minor penalty, hooking.
And he's working in Philadelphia for the first time. It took him 1 minute of game action to hear boos. There are the virtuous who take him so long.
No.
A long list for the Oilers. They have had to deal with some serious injuries to key players like
1987, Game 7,
and for the
May
Flyers,
31st.
Andreas Nolan.
It was Wayne Gretzky.
Are now
He had scored in the postseason.
because they have been scratched
And
for this one. With Carter back, and Dan Carcillo now added to the lineup as well. So Pronger is off for hooking.
No item in 23 minutes here.
The Oilers power play goes to work. It has not been strong for the most part this year, as those numbers would indicate. They have tallied 3 times in their last 7 opportunities over the last 2 games. Special teams have been a big problem for the Oilers this season. There's a turnover. Darryl Powell picks up the puck. Powell picking up speed to the backhand, but his shot is deflected out of play about the Army. But his shot is deflected out. Turnover. Darryl Powell picks up the puck. Powell picking up speed to the backhand, but his shot is deflected out of play about the Army.
Yarder gets it back. Scores! Yarber Yager!
YouTube video player. YouTube video player. Complimentary YouTube video item. YouTube video player. Real Tech Audio Real Tech. No item in. Click or scroll. Seeks YouTube vid. No item in.
Final goal. 3 minutes in the period. Couturier centers it past.
His shot is deflected out of play about the Army.
No. 2-0 Flyers.
We'll see just how tight this game is going to be called. Somewhere in there was the hook on Chris Pronger. It might have been at the very start of that replay. Somewhere in there was the hook on Chris Pronger. It might have been at the very start of that replay.
Gotta be careful on this one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, it could be that the European-born Vinneberg is going to call things.
There was the hook on Chris Pronger. It might have been the. Somewhere in there was the hook on Chris Pronger. It might have been at the very start of that. Somewhere in there was the hook on Chris Pronger. It might have been at the very start of that replay.
Gotta be careful on this one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Is challenged for the offside prior to the goal.
Kidding.
Well, it could be that the
might have been at the very start of that replay.
gotta be careful on this one.
Yeah, no kidding. Somewhere in there was the hook on Chris Pronger. It might have been at the very start of that. Somewhere in there was the hook on Chris Pronger. It might have been at the very start of that. How tight this game is going to be called. Somewhere in there.
Upon the review, there was offside. But therefore, we have no goal.
There was the hook on Chris Pronger. Let's see just how tight this game is going to be called.
3 minutes into the first period.
Let's see just how.
The shot is deflected out of play.
Disallowed here in this Stanley Cup final.
We'll see just how tight.
Out of play about the
We see in the stats.
Out of play about the Arby.
The scoreboard is said 2 minutes.
Out of play.
The Flyers will face off after that.
We'll see just how tight this game is going to be called. Somewhere in there was the hook on Chris Pronger, and might have been at the just how tight this game is going to be called.
Oh, is it 2-0?
No item in view, YouTube. No item in. No.
This game is going to be called.
On the power play.
We'll see just how. Somewhere in there was the hook on Chris Pronger, and might have been at the very start of that replay. That's right. This one. Yeah, no kidding.
It could be that the European-born Vitterberg is going to call things totally by the way. Right off to draw that shot by Corey Giroux high and wide, and O'Donnell will fire it back around to the other side.
That penalty might have been in the warm-up.
They were very spirited.
Speed is 0.75 movement.
Back here as Zaros will get it to O'Donnell and then all the way back down the ice.
I don't think the Flyers have to really fear the Edmonton power play. I mean, it's tied for last in the league, and they're without a couple of the real skill guys in Hemsky and Hall. But being in the penalty box continues to be a momentum killer. So that's what the Flyers have to focus on, is just staying out of the box. Not fearing the power play, but not killing their own momentum.
Oh, and their energy level, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's taxing. 42 seconds remaining on this power play for Edmonton. Foster moves the puck to center. Got it in, and now Jones hits it to Sam Gagner. Got the puck shot blocked by Howie's after it. He's interfered with Howie coming up. He lost his stick. Trying to kick the puck. That's nearly got it through. The ball is breaking up. And the play is called down. And over in 23 seconds, the Flyers will go to the man advantage.
No question about this one. Right down in front of Coetzee. And if Daryl Powell had just been able to get a little further ahead on this one, I think he could have ended up being awarded a penalty shot.
You were thinking the same thing I was, because he was gone. No two ways about it. So the penalty's going to be able to stop him to have that breakaway. And, you know, it was amazing because Timonen went over to the referee and said, hey, by the way, do you think that might have been a penalty shot? But the referee said, absolutely no way. But Bill, you and I on the same wavelength there.
For one thing, you got to be on the offensive side of the red line. So that would have been close.
Nice. Omar takes the call. He's a forward playing on the point on the power play, so he's in a good position there at all. 4 aside for the next 14 seconds. Flyers get back to get the puck in their own zone. Carl drop it off to Jeff Carter, but his pass off of Horkoff and gathered by Schmid. Cross ice to Tom Gilbert. He's snap it right back across ice, and the Flyers will get to that. James Van Riemsdyk knocking it down, kicking it ahead, holds on, flips it on goal, and Dubnyk make the save as Flyers went to the net there in the form of Jeff Carter. Here's Mazaros across. Flyers on the man advantage and set up quickly. Riemsdyk to Mazaros. Moves it off on the goal line to Carter. Back out to Andre. Now it's Carter again. Takes it to the line. Draws 2 people to him. Now the cross-ice pass from Van Riemsdyk tipped away in the slot. And Gilbert is able to clear.
Rather than take the time of getting Chris Pronger all the way across the ice, they just sent him out there to patrol the front of the net, which he's used to.
Studwick will clear here. And Bobrovsky out of his net to set it up for Chris Pronger. 55 seconds remaining on the power play. Pronger delivered in the center. And from this side of the red line, blasts it in. And that's icing. Curtis Foster got back to touch up.
Play group image.
Well, it's been a tough couple of weeks, so we asked Peter Laviolette about what's going to happen tonight, and just say, hey, this is going to be a good hockey team tonight. We were a good hockey team on Sunday, and I accept responsibility of that. So that one's on me. I expect to win, and I expect it to be great. Boy, I love his enthusiasm. That's why it's our go-to quote.
He came right out and said that the performance in New York is a direct result of the hard practices the team had, in addition to the flu bug that's hit the club. And he claimed some of the responsibility, in fact, all the responsibility for that performance. I think that's a coach falling on the sword a little bit there, Bill. But bottom line is, he had actually talked to us before the week had started. He said we might see some short-term problems with all those hard practices, but it's good for the long-term goal of the club.
I think it's kind of a one and out, get out of jail free card for the team. I mean, they can avoid having to answer questions about being embarrassed by the New York Rangers because their coach has fallen on the sword, and I think that's a really good idea. But that's a one and out, right? It's up to the Flyers as a team to perform in this hockey game. Because
it's for the long-term.
No item.
Bottom line, all the responsibility to the flu bug that's hit the club, and he claimed some practices the team had in addition to the flu bug that's hit the club.
And here's Postpone.
And some of the
Scores! It's tied. But no.
Responsibility, in fact, all the responsibility for that performance. Bug that's hit
The Oilers have not scored a goal.
the club, and he claimed some of the
Good save.
responsibility, in fact, all the responsibility for that performance. I think that's a coach falling on the sword a little bit there, Bill, but bottom line is he had actually talked to us before the week had started. He said we might see some short-term practices, but it's good for the long-term goal of the club.
I think it's kind of a one and out, get out of jail free card for the team. I mean, they can avoid having to answer questions about being embarrassed by the New York Rangers because their coach has fallen on the sword, and I think that's a really good idea. But that's a one and out, right? It's up to the Flyers as a team to perform in this hockey game because they had a day off yesterday.
Yeah, you got their day off. They showed the day off. Put it all the way down.
No item.
For one more rush with this bang advantage as Kimo Timonen starts up. Richards throwing on the pass, gets it back though. And puts one that's tipped high in the air to the corner. And for Jones to clear, got it as far as Palmer. On the back end, Jones knocks it down, bounces toward the slot. Giroux tips to Carter. Carter stuffed it to the wall, but there's Jones again. And Jones turning with it. Carter tipping it away from him. Pronger continues with that long reach. Jabs it to Carter, but his pass for Giroux is broken up. Out of the box is Omar. And there he is getting the puck. Even quickly takes it back. So back to full-strength hockey. We approach the 5-minute mark of this first period. Richards moving on in. Signs on the brakes. And swings the puck to Giroux. Giroux out toward the line and now flipping into the slot. Knocked down there is Hartnell, and the Oilers come up with a puck. Former Flyer Jim Vandermeer getting the setter. He swarmed upon there. Flyers get the puck free. Here's Richards. Richards looking, waiting, and then slipping it through to Giroux. Back out Carl. Across it goes. One-timer Coburn wide. Skips all the way along to Richards. Send it toward the net off the skate and wide. Giroux is there to claim. The Flyers putting the pressure on now. Claude Giroux in the slot. Coburn shot in the stick, save by Dubnyk. So he's just trying to clear now, but Leno got in the way. He flings it to the slot. Vandermeer will pick that up, and finally Edmonton to center ice. Omar will lob one to the Philadelphia zone. That's going to trip all the way to Bobrovsky. Just pushes it away from Sam Gagner. Coburn will lift it out through center and down. It's knocked out there by Strudwick. Oilers still looking for their first shot on goal. Flyers have three. All around the other side of the ice. Leno, check, but it's a foot, and Flyers are moving around too. Sean O'Donnell. His pass intercepted. Adriano has a quick shot. Looking for the redirection was Alexander Giroux. He may have gotten a stick on it, but it went wide.
I think the Flyers might want to get this first shot against out of the way because Edmonton scored on their first shot of each period against Colorado in their game that they won Saturday night. So get that first one out of the way in this one.
He's going to work in the offensive zone for now. Briere stops, centers for Stieg. Hit that shot. It was blocked aside. Started then dumped for Stieg. And play carries on. And Reddick's with a pass to Cogliano trying to cut him. Carl cut him off. And then his pass. Reveille is tipped high in the air and grabbed by Bobrovsky. And he's given all kinds of time by the officials to keep the puck in play. Finally he does. There's back. And his pass. Reveille is tipped. Blocked pass to Cogliano trying to cut him. Carl cut him off.
No item in video player.
Reveille is tipped high in the air and grabbed by Bobrovsky.
Shoots.
And he's given all kinds of time by the officials.
Nothing lead here in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final.
No item in view.
There's Matt Carl.
So much for the fair catch.
Exactly. So they do. Expecting to play the lob. And Richards slowly to center. Exactly. There and grabbed by Bobrovsky. Here's for Stieg. Dan Carson. Gilbert couldn't get there. Stanley does. There's Matt Carl.
So much for the fair catch.
Exactly. He was ready for the whistle. The boys both get sneak. All right, there's it. And they'll flip the puck. The Oilers getting it back.
The fair catch.
Exactly.
No one
for the whistle. The referees said, play on. And so they do. The Oilers getting it back around to Tom Gilbert. Avoids most of the check attempt from Dan Carcillo. And after Sutherland, Carcillo continues to play a lot of energy here. Richards moving on in. He's checked. Now there's a chance in transition at Norton. Right through the smooth. Smooth to the back and up on the right. Across ice. Richards intercepted. And Richards slowly to center. They'll flip the puck into the final retreat. 7.5 minutes in now to this first period. Gravity behind his own net. There we go. He's what he talked about in the open. Those teams, for the fourth youngest, they were the youngest team in the league for most of the year. After the trade deadline, some of the other teams got young. Now they're the fourth youngest, but still a lot of promising players. No score here early on. Everybody. Most of the year. After the trade deadline, some of the other teams got young. Now they're the fourth youngest, but still a lot of promising players. No score here.
2-0 Flyers here in Game 3.
Everybody likes
promising players.
No scoring of the season. How about Jordan Eberle? Number 1 pick of the Edmonton Oilers 2008. 15 goals this year, 50 last year. We were trying, but this is what happened in the first game of the year against Calgary. Watch this move. Little draw, brings it up to the outside, then comes with the backhand, and remember that goal. That's going to be an award winner. And what's he got to look forward to, guys, after scoring a goal like that in his first game?
That's all downhill from there. But I'll say this about it.
How about more of the same?
I mean, throughout his career, especially in the World Junior Championships, whenever they needed a clutch goal, he was the guy scoring.
Absolutely was.
So now he has 4 game-winning goals as a downhill. Scoring NHL. Here's Jeff Carter. Continuing back along, foreclosure Giroux.
Carter.
Out for O'Donnell.
Carter.
Right back in
Carter.
deep. James Van Riemsdyk is there.
No item of union keyboard shirt that doesn't matter.
Carter makes it 3-0 Flyers in Game 3.
Who's Gilbert? Right back in Carter. Nothing.
And what's he got to look forward to, guys, after scoring a goal like that in his first game?
That's all downhill from there. But I'll say this about it.
How about more of the same?
I mean, throughout his career.
Forward to, guys, after scoring a goal like that in his first game.
That's all downhill from there. But I'll say this about it.
How about more of the same?
I mean, throughout his career, especially
After scoring a goal like that in his first game.
No item in
that's all downhill from there. But I'll say this about it.
How about more of the same?
I mean, throughout his career, especially in the World Junior Championships, whenever they.
And what's he got to look forward to, guys, after scoring a goal like that in his first
No item in
game?
That's all downhill from there.
No item in
But I'll say this
No
about
item
it.
in video player group.
I mean, throughout his career, especially in the World Junior Championships, whenever they needed a clutch goal, he was the guy scoring.
Absolutely was.
So now he has 4 game-winning goals as a rookie in the NHL. Here's Jeff Carter, dropping the puck along, foreclosure Giroux. Out for O'Donnell, right back in deep. And Van Riemsdyk is there, turning with it, trying to lose Gilbert. Now head off to Giroux, spins away from his man, right back to Van Riemsdyk. The puck moving here as O'Donnell will go across ice. Pizarro stays into that shot, but it was blocked by Jacques. Puck back out to center. Pizarro after it there. Giroux. Bumped by Schmid, still able to control the puck. Giroux stopping on a dime, trying to get away from the Flyer prospect Colin Fraser.
And a nickel change.
Loose puck, played out backhander, and the save made by Dubnyk. Gratuitous bounce for the Flyers, but Milano denied by the Edmonton goaltender.
24-year-old rookie is Devin Dubnyk in goal for Edmonton. He's won his last 2 starts and 4 of the last 6. It's not as if he's brand new to pro hockey, though. 3.5 years in the minors, and he had 19 games with Edmonton last season. So he's still classified as a rookie. He's got some experience.
Right off the draw, shot denied by the big goaltender. Here's Pronger. Red fly now. Here's Carl. And he went toward the net. And at the side of the cage, he got cut up long enough for the whistle. The puck winding up in, but well after the whistle, it stopped play. After the whistle, the puck.
No item.
Well, here's our Jeep trivia question for tonight. What current Flyer player recorded the first ever successful penalty shot goal in a Stanley Cup final game? There are your choices. Chris Versteeg, Daddy Briere, Chris Pronger.
You know this one?
I do not, and I should.
Oh, come on.
You looked at me like you don't know either.
I don't.
Coatsy knows. Coatsy knows.
I have no clue.
All right. If anybody
We
thinks
will give you the answer later on.
If anybody thinks we get sneak previews of these questions and answers, they're wrong.
There's a long stretch pass out of the middle. He shoots. He
What a goal for Danny Briere! And the Philadelphia Flyers are up 4-0.
It's 1-0. Briere scores for Casey Washington.
Sean Couturier gets another point.
And it has only taken a matter of minutes for this line to repay the coach Peter Laviolette for his loyalty to them, keeping them together. Danny Briere finding a seam perfectly, and then Dubnyk with no chance at all. Such a quick release and a great snapshot.
That's his shot. That's what he loves to be able to do, to go top shelf over the left shoulder of the goalie, being a right-hand shot. And despite Dubnyk being 6'6" and still being pretty big when he goes down into the butterfly, that didn't bother Danny Briere. What a great pass, too.
Back to the back. Powell swinging in. And also getting the assist. 1-0 Flyers.
No item in the future.
After only 7 Flyers. The ball here, Richardson.
Stanley Cup Finals here for three. The loudest band here in history. Behind Game 7.
Is on Edmonton.
Forward. 18-11. Stanley Cup Finals by 4.
Here's the speed. Makes the left bounce at the Richards, but he overskated the puck. Back the other way. There's Ian Lex to the Philadelphia line. Lex to the backhand. Denied by the Kuhn. The slide through. Just the speed back to his own zone. And moving ahead. Moving in there. And a bunch of the Richards in the neutral zone. And Richards will get to the right line and just follow him. The Flyers need to change lines.
One of the things that Peter Laviolette expected from his troops in this game is better backside pressure, good back checking, and making sure that the Flyers defensemen could stand up at the blue line knowing that they had help coming back. And right now, everybody's on the game plan.
Well, backs out with Powell and Brady Shea for this shift, and that's the one-handed knife to O'Donnell. And across as he goes to his eyes. That's Shea again. And they'll wind it in the Edmonton zone. Javier back. Foster got it as far as Shea. And now Shea back into the court. Back up to the line. That's back out. O'Donnell across. The shot deflected, but it went wide. Shea got his stick out, but the puck missing the target. Here's the original shot. Pronger. And here's O'Donnell. Now he kicked over the zone. Could not. The Pronger is back to take the puck. He finds Powell. He's back to O'Donnell as he threw that pass to him. He calls the move out to the neutral zone. And now Giroux stealing. Giroux all by himself here, waiting as the Flyers are changing. And he ready line up. He finds Carter for the shot. Save Dubnyk. And he hangs on. Great setup by Giroux. Carter denied by Dubnyk, but Danny Briere was not. He beat the big goaltender to give the Flyers the early lead.
The crowd is making noise here in Philadelphia. It's 4-0. Flyers.
So Danny Briere has given the Flyers a 1-0 lead, and a great pass from Matt Powell. Where Chris Pronger is actually struggling to get back. So you think that Matt Powell might play it conservatively, knowing that his partner wasn't back there? He had no choice but to make this play. If you stop it here, we'll show you. Look at how big the seam is here that Edmonton gives Danny Briere to find. And then Matt Carl just, that was a no-brainer once that seam got to be that big. So not very good coverage by the Edmonton Oilers, and Flyers taking full advantage of it.
Really good recognition by Carl.
No doubt.
And Briere, once again, leading the Flyers to go.
Goal scorer in the first period. 4-0. 4 unanswered first period goals.
And then to get his momentum going, then stepped into the big seam so that he could have some speed going the other way.
No item in view, two video players. No item in view.
Here's Jaromir Jagr. Waits. Passes, shoots. And he scores!
No item in view.
Philadelphia! Do it again! It's 5-0! Philly! What a champ. Jaromir Jagr, Stanley Cup finalist, Stanley Cup goal scorer, and Stanley Cup winner. In the 1992 Pittsburgh Penguins.
Defensive talent.
20 seasons in the NHL.
Hard to teach teams so that he
39
could have some
years of
speed
age.
going the other way. To get his momentum going, then stepped into the big seam so that he could have some speed going the other way. Offensive talent that's hard to teach.
I think it was 21.
And on that replay, you could see that Danny Briere was kind of hiding in behind coverage. And then to get his momentum going, then stepped in.
No item in view, three users. No item in view, two video players.
Stepping up. Flyers, 5 goals. Jaromir. That's his first goal ever in his Stanley Cup final.
Into the big seam so
No
that
item.
he could have some
No item
speed
in view.
First goal, then second goal.
going the other way. Offensive talent that's hard to teach.
Fifth goal of the series.
Nice battling for the puck. James Van Riemsdyk trying to fight on for a whole puck. A really good job.
A big game.
Yeah, still.
Philadelphia.
After the line comes with it.
5-0
It is one. It goes
Flyers.
back. His thought he was trying to redirect. Now behind it. All the way through center. Here's Van Riemsdyk, and he'll bank it off to center. Gilbert. Hand it over to Collin. Now Carter. Drop pass. Giroux in the middle. Carter. Let's try to back to the top. Dubnik plays down. He's on top of the save. He moved it around pretty smartly there.
I thought Carter was going to have an absolute perfect redirection there because the passer was spectacular. But watch Dubnik, he's going to just lay right across. Now watch Carter going through that, watch the stick. He just redirected it, but he redirected it right into the pass of Dubnik.
Pretty good quickness too for a guy that's 6'6". That's how tall Devin Dubnik is. As long as he doesn't get carried away and end up out of position, he's going to end up getting a chunk of a lot of the shots that come his way. And he's been really good for Edmonton recently.
A lot of playing time. Look at how Hobby Broom backing up. Expected to start the next game for the Oilers, but he's been out. An ice chip get up in his eye line. Irritated by the problem. And Briere with a shot that goes wide. Lena around behind it up the air. Briere settling, trying to slide that in front, but he came back on it. Pinching with his eyes. Trying to pass him. Leno's over. Momentary kept it in, and now plays stop. And the puck was hit with a high stick. And so the face-off back in the Edmonton zone.
Now, JJ, you mentioned that Edmonton is now, the 4th youngest team in the NHL? If you didn't know that they were that young, all you have to do is take a look at a list of their names and check out first names like Devin and Liam and Linus. Right? And then you know this is a young team.
Absolutely right. Yeah. Gordon, no, you're right. I've never used that as a barometer, but I will from now on. That's
Mike, Devin Dubnyk did.
He put to in the shot. He's been out. Irritated by the problem. He barely the shot that goes wide. Around behind. Pinching his play stop. And touches it with a high stick. And Terry steps it in.
And here's Butler. Giroux.
You can go short.
The Flyers fans.
Now, JJ, you mentioned that Edmonton is now what, the fourth?
For Giroux.
And
Third goal at the final. 6-0.
Kisses and
Will Harrods.
right, Will Harrods.
Back out there now. Outshot there. 11-0. Just out to center, they say, before shooting forward, so outside.
And we want to remind everybody of next season's full and partial ticket packages are on sale right now, and season ticket holders receive all kinds of benefits, including discounts from box office pricing, playoff priority, flexible payment plans, so you can use your system to fire pretty well. I think the support in the offensive zone is one thing he was looking for. I mean, Flyers are leaving one guy alone in the corner, waiting for him to win battles and get the puck to them. Now they're supporting one another. They're at least doing that in the first period.
That's gains a lot of speed. Tries the back end to lie behind it. All around the other side of this, there's Powell. Turns with it. Oh, he's drilled into the boards. That's a penalty. Way out. Speed. Rolling Powell. Now his eyes are in. And the Flyers will try to come to the aid of their foul player who is still on all fours.
And Ladislav Smeed, I think, is actually reaching in, trying to help Darryl Powell up. I mean, he looked remorseful the moment that he hit him.
And that's why I think the Flyers, they got there on the scene, but they didn't do all that once they got there.
And they could use the power play, so the crowd here is booing, and everybody hopes that Darryl Powell is okay. Unless Ladislav Smeed is the best actor in the world, this is not the outcome that he wanted, with Darryl Powell going face first into the boards.
And I was paying attention to Steve McIntyre and Joey Shelley because they were two heavyweights on the ice at the same time. Let's take a look at this. See, Smeed's going to be able to come in, and that's absolutely prototypical boarding. You don't hit a guy from behind when he's square like that to the boards about 2 feet away. You got nothing but possible concussion, separated shoulder, you name it. That's just a dangerous play.
You know what, Coach? I agree 100%. And now looking at the replay, I wonder exactly what Ladislav Smeed expected to happen there.
Yeah.
You hit a guy right on the numbers like that, and it's a 5-minute boarding penalty.
Yes. We could be remorseful.
Yeah, exactly. I'll stand by the fact that he looked remorseful, but seeing that replay,
Rules when they cross him. That pass is into the puck. Guys, sometimes once they get the power play, because they have their clothes, they put maybe
what expected to happen there.
Yeah.
You hit a guy
Sound to the front of the goal.
right on the numbers.
60 square like that to the boards about 2 feet away. You got nothing but
Alert data Bennett signs that use the gospel card
possible
for progressive.
separated shoulder, you name it.
www.wp.com. The last notification
Coach,
button. Notification settings button. Notification close button. Edit.
And now looking at the replay, I wonder exactly what Ladislav Smeed expected to happen there.
Yeah.
You hit a guy right on the numbers like that, and it's a 5-minute boarding penalty.
We could be remorseful.
Yeah, exactly. I'll stand by the fact that he looked remorseful, but seeing that replay, what did he expect?
I did expect in the replay to think that maybe Kyle turned the ball instead of the
Yeah.
So, huge opportunity here for the Flyers. Should Kyle be okay?
No item in view. No item in view for YouTube.
Take this.
No item in view. No item in view for
A
YouTube.
chance to add to their 1-0 lead as Jimmy Clausen passes things over to his partner. Giroux. Back with Richards and Carter.
Still 5 on the Flyers.
Richards getting that puck in. Giroux is checked. Flyers do though. Still get to it. There's Carter. He gets set up. But that pass was intercepted by Fabiano. One area of the Flyers power play that coaching staff talked about all year is just that passion for the puck. Flyers sometimes once they get the power play, because they have more players, they just think the puck's going to come to them. You have to continue to have that passion for the puck or you won't get anything done.
And Jimmy, I think you fall into that trap even more so with a 5-minute major.
Exactly.
You know, you've got to go out there with the mentality that they've got a 1-minute power play. Think of it as 5 consecutive 1-minute power plays. You got enough players that know how to play.
Andrew sends it in. This is where they have to show that hustle for the puck. The speed does a good job getting his stick on it. Flyers try to turn that back.
No item in view.
Rivera's pass though ends up on the stick of Gagner going the other way. He crisscrosses. He could drive lead on his out, and he lost control of the corner when the Flyers get it back. But already over a minute has gone by. In the 5-minute major, and the Flyers have yet to get a puck to Rick Dugan. And now they're settling things in. Those are make some changes, and the Flyers getting restless. Billy Leno leading his way towards center and then dropping it off. Briere penetrates the zone, gives to Hutton, right back for Briere. Return with 2 errors to him. Hutton back around for Gannon. He's checked, but Hutton has it. Hutton dropping it along the wall to Briere. Hutton will head to the crease in the net area. Try to cross center. There's Leno. Oh, got the shot. Dudnik round Gonzalez. Devin Dudnik flashing some weather. Put it on. On Gonzalez. It's still a nothing game.
Well, I'll tell you what, Devin Dubnyk for most of his young career has been Mr. Backup. He sure looks like a starter on this play. Mazaros didn't get all of it, though, did he, Coachy?
No, he actually kind of shrugged it just a little bit. That's a tough play to be able to let pass him all the way across. And then he's trying to let the one-timer go. He looks very frustrated there. And that allowed Dubnyk to be able to make a pretty good glove save. And then Dubnyk down a little bit, too. You know how those goalies like to be able to give that little, I got this, and did I get a lot on it?
I'm not sure they usually show that much on a club shot like that. He certainly did. Bill, that's up here, okay? Here's Richards with the pass to Van Riemsdyk. Centering, loose puck, check for Dubnyk. It's the big glove on top of it to get the whistle. Gonzalez was in there again.
The Statue of Liberty that a lot of goaltenders love to show at 6'6".
35
That would be
volume,
a tall torch for Devin Dubnyk. Nice little saucer pass by Billy Leno, and you can see that it did flip up on the stick of Andre Mazaros. I'll still give Dubnyk credit for being well positioned with his glove turned and opened and ready.
He really was ready. He should have.
No item in view.
Richards. Cross looking for some speed and speeds to get through.
No item in view.
Keep the puck alive. Back to Tiedemann it goes. Tiedemann to Van Riemsdyk. Waits, hold, shot! And the shoulder save made by Dubnyk. That's Mazaros. Back to Van Riemsdyk. He's mashed on the wall by Gilbert. A chance to clear for Vandermeer. He got it as far as Tiedemann just over it over Elon. 2:20 remaining in the major. For a slow start, the Flyers now getting pressured as Dubnyk has been the problem. Briere pivots. And across the line. Shuffles it off for Carter. Carter tried to set it. Blocked. He gets it back around behind the net. And now Giroux. Right back to Carter. Kyle will go across ice. Giroux accepting that pass. Carter goes in front of the net. Giroux with a pass. Briere darts, holds, cross ice. And Giroux could not spot that in time. 1:50 in the power play time. Kyle's pass off a skate out to center ice.
So many times, so close. That pass for Giroux just nicked the skate of Andrew Cogliano. Otherwise, he was in cold.
Kyle will chip one in. He's going to chase himself. Studwick is there. They wind up in glass. Finally got a piece of it. Good job there by Carter to keep it in. Got it to the corner. Kyle tried to tuck it lower for Briere. Spin it back along the dasher. Over comes Pronger. Pronger in along. Briere holds, waits, and then goes back around the boards out to Pronger. He's passed to Giroux. Giroux for Briere. Briere into the slot, but it was behind Carter. And Kyle, over the back door, was checked. Now Briere has it again. He's checked, puck up the wall. Giroux keeps it in, banks it to Briere, and now it's Carter. Carter turned back, circles, holds, back out. Pronger couldn't unload on the one-timer there. They'll flip the puck in for Kyle. Kyle has a look back out to Pronger. No shooting lane, gives to Giroux. Giroux on the go by Briere. Time down to 45 seconds in the power play. There's Kyle. To Briere. One-timer goes wide. Kyle will get to it. Out for Giroux. He finds Briere. Moving here, Briere. Making his way toward the side is checked. Giroux picks it up, turns his pass. Deflected by Horkoff. Kept in by Pronger. Pronger holding on to it. Gives to Kyle. Now Giroux. Giroux. Coming back. There's Briere. Briere. To Kyle.
No item.
Giroux. Giroux. Pronger holding on to it. Gives to Kyle. Now Giroux. Pronger holding on to it. Gives to Kyle. Now Giroux.
Yager.
There's Briere.
Second goal of the night. It's at 6-0 Flyers.
No item.
Give the Flyers so much credit there for staying patient and aggressive at the same time. Sounds like a contradiction in terms, but they kept the pressure on, kept control of the puck, and kept trying to get it to the front. And finally, Jeff Carter by himself and the Oilers have done a great job of defending up until that point.
Well, Briere does a great job because all he was he waited for Strudwick to move. It was a 2-on-1 down low. As soon as Strudwick went to Briere, he just passed it to
No item in DEG.
And still Goussets. Shots for the Edmonton 16. Flyers shot it out.
No item.
24/7 Flyer fans get more with CSNPhilly.com. Flyers insider Tim Panaccio, using more than 20 years of experience to give you total Flyers coverage at home and on the road. Experience counts. Flyers insider Tim Panaccio only on CSNPhilly.com.
The two heavyweights that Coach was talking about, McIntyre out there against Brady Shelley. So let us know how it looks from where you are. Let's see.
Yeah. If you don't mind if anywhere within 15 feet, I look the other way.
Finally here on Philadelphia, Sean O'Donnell had lost control of the puck in front of his own net, and he grabbed the whole
No item in DEG.
Sean Gagnon. He's been in the league forever. He's still only 21 years of age. At the point he goes, that shot caught out by Bobrovsky. His first save of the game came on that shot by Foster. Back out it goes Omar. Minus Omar to Cogliano. Cogliano's process pass tipped. And it goes off the stick into the crowd.
Well, the playoffs are just around the corner, and really the only way to guarantee seats to the most exciting hockey of the year is to call now and reserve club box seats. You can watch Flyers playoff hockey from a premium, lower-level seat. Call right now, 215-389-9500. Make sure you don't miss this opportunity. The operators are waiting for your call right now.
Flyers chance to move up in the short end rush. Couldn't get out of the zone, but Coburn does. Brought it out to the neutral zone. 55 seconds remaining in the period. 30 seconds more than that on the power play. Now the team. Here's it around. Mazar's got his stick out. Moves it out. Guys move up. Richards starting at the left wing. Takes the back. So across the line. And he's checked by Giroux. That's Alexander. Giroux's here like Johnson's and
Philadelphia plays.
This one can hold
Philadelphia. Achille. Stanley Cup.
And a save made by Dubnik. And period number one. Dubnik much better.
In the 6-goal first period.
Is here. There's 17 shots. Rasky just one. Flyers with a 2-0 lead. Tonight's Flyers Oilers first period was brought to you by McDonald's. Get
YouTube
a
video
small
player.
premium roast coffee for only 89 cents. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Let's go downstairs to Steve Coates. He chats with Danny Briere, who had a goal and an assist here in period number one.
Danny, let's talk about that great assist you made on Carter's goal. It comes at the end of the 5-minute major, but you showed a lot of patience.
Well, that was good. I thought our power play did a really good job there, cycling the puck, keeping going. We had him running in the zone for probably the last 2 minutes, which was great to see for a power play, and finally paid off.
How about the goal you scored? You get a great pass and one-on-one with the goalie.
It was a great heads-up play by Matty Carl. I was just trying to find the hole coming back into the neutral zone, and he found me behind everybody. I was thinking 5-0, and at the last second, my hands trying to change direction.
10 volume group image.
Thanks, Danny.
Thanks, Benson.
Danny Briere got the Flyers started with that goal and then assisted on Carter to make it 2-0. Good first period for the Flyers. Michael Barkan, Rick Tocchet will dissect it as our coverage of Flyers hockey continues after these messages.
2-0 after the first period of play. Flyers. Look at that Carter, yes?
No item in the
Really well designed.
Period. So the Flyers.
Goal scorers, Danny Briere and Jeff Carter.
It was a tie series.
Club leadership
Here at the Stanley Cup final.
Benefiting the Flyers should have
Flyers.
4 arms with all of the shots they launched in the first period. Check this out. The Flyers attempted 34 shots to the Oilers 3. Some of those shots went wide, some were blocked, but 17 of them made it on goal on Devin Dubnik.
Alt have item 1 of 21.
Now the challenge is to continue with the same emotion and pace. The last time I checked, you don't get any points in the standings for being ahead at the end of 1.
On Saturday,
Slider at 43 minutes, 48 seconds.
Literally, and it evaporated quickly in the second period. So they've been here before. I mean,
It's a tie
65
series.
volume group image.
same thing
Here
happens.
is
They begin
Stanley Cup
shorthanded.
final. The Philadelphia Flyers
90 volume.
lead the series to 2-1. The Flyers led against 4 in Philadelphia.
Flyers first spread the wealth in the first period. 12 different players had at least one shot on goal. 7 of the 17 shots came from defensemen, so a lot of players winning the offensive end.
I was having trouble getting control of the puck here. Larby, flip it across there. Schmid off the right. Checked by Betts, got right through that checking, tried to settle and find it was there. This pass ahead could not be handled by Carcillo. Put back into Philadelphia. This is both teams will make some player changes. So 1 minute into the second period. Glad you could join us here on Podcast Sportsnet. Flyers and Oilers, their first and only meeting of the season. Oilers unbeaten in the last 7 games against the Flyers. That covers almost a decade. And the last game against Edmonton all the way back on March the 19th of 2001. Tagliano with a shot off the glove of Bobrovsky. And then they're trying to get it back, but the Flyers have it instead. Here's Richards, and he's just going to flutter that one out to the neutral zone. Knocked down by Vandermeer. Get it back to the Philadelphia zone. Alex jumps out of his pass to Tagliano for the shot. Save Bobrovsky. I'll tell you, early on, the Oilers looked like the team to jump here in the second period. Vandermeer, a shot that's deflected away by Carcillo. And out of play it goes. Flyers and Lehigh Valley Dairy would like to thank the fans in Section 223.
There's no question the Edmonton Oilers have come out with more jump. Doubled their shot total already from the first. Well, they had one in the first period. They got two in this period.
Tripled it for the game. Yeah, just like that. But they have come out and looked as though they're going to go on the attack more. The team is clear of nothing to lose. They're at last place in the West, but they've been playing some good hockey here of late despite losing some key players to injury. On Gagne, throwing off the body down low. Now here's Tooman. Tooman. Taking it ahead. Naylor could not do much with that one off of him to Spudler. Jakey is sticking up there. It's Foster, but the Flyers got the puck and turned it right back over to Gagne.
There was a puck pass to him with no stick. You don't think he's yelling, no stick, no stick?
And Leon's up with it, stealing it, and nearly found the air. Here's Feldman. Here's the pass, turning Leno, the shot blocked. Rebound back to Billy. Holds on to it. Oh, he's looking and trying to find the open man. Here into Feldman. That's the air. They're looking in the middle. There's it all around to the high slot. This is Jacobin. He takes the shot and it goes high and wide. They're going to hustle over to keep it in the zone. Right at the line. Leno. The head fake to the slot. That's the move. It's a cover to the shot. Movement. The awkward save. The player.
Jones. Foster. Got the...
Once Jones quickly heard the wrong stick. A little awkward though.
Mostly used for poke checking at that point, right?
Right.
Flyers to the puck here. Massaras charging up to the neutral zone. Gives to Carter. Carter over the back of his ass. Block second try. Knocked down as well. It was really ended up hit him up high. Now Van Riem's done. Surging to the puck. Turning in. And Giroux just couldn't get a stick on that. It had a vapor trail on it. There was a play back down the ice.
The curve of the stick wouldn't have mattered to Eddie Van Impe as long as he still had the ability to slide.
Well, he might have shown the outspear in there as well. There's a chip pass to Giroux.
Now look at he's watching.
Insight to Carter. Carter back around. Giroux check did not get that puck out. Another jumps on it. Another into center ice. And the red line will bounce it in. Rossi lets that one go. Orkoff, nope, you got it. Conger goes and gets him. And finally knocks the puck away. And Richard a big chop at it. And in the air. And then Conger back out to the neutral zone. Vandermeer from the red line will wind it right back in. It to the neutral zone and sent right back in by Hotspur. Just recalled due to some of the injuries, playing in his second game this season and sixth NHL game overall. Longer. Finds Christine. Christine ice moving across the line, but they say Richards was out of the play.
Want to let everybody know that they can be a part of Flyers history, and it's happening on Thursday. Here's the night.
Alexander Giroux trying to score, set it in front of him, batted away, and then slotted out of harm's way after hit off Mazaris in front. Richards check, as it really picked up the forechecking tempo. Alexander Giroux to the line behind. Tagliano wins the battle, got the puck back to Giroux. His cross-ice pass, but it got a stick on it. He was able to tip it a little deeper, but the speed has it now, and they tip it to center, and then it's out of the line by Richards. Foster goes back to get it. Flyers will change line. Long pass. Omar. Here's Spudler. Now this is the icy. Coonan gets there. Outside. Jones gets there. Outside.
A bit of help here because that next to the puck if Mazaris doesn't clear that.
Looked like he had a lot of net to punch it into. So that's really well in the goal saving play by Mazaris. The Oilers again. Going to cross ice. Finally couldn't handle a clean, so the play is whistled down on the outside. Any lead too big. This slump they've been in, so they know that they really can't have any lead too big right now. They try to push forward as opposed to sitting back. Coleman riding this one in. Gilbert check. Dirty showing with the puck. After the point, Kyle, wrist shot, handed down by Schmid, and so maneuver to the wall, and then played out by Ryan Jones. And get back into Kyle, and they have a nice pass on the deal there. This time it was processed, looking for Kyle, bounces past him with an icing. And it is icing, although Kyle thought he got to the puck.
Well, it's something we're going to talk about while you're playing the game here with the game. You know what? That's our talk about how the stick handle, the handcuffs on.
Yeah, the only similarity between my hand and Brielle's is that we have 5 fingers on each. That's it.
Thanks for asking.
Well, I just figured I'd bring that point up.
But I'll tell you something, Danny Brielle to me is one of only about 5 or 6 players that play this sport on the planet that can change their mind or even make up their mind when they get into the hash marks about what they want to.
Henderson split it one. Twine, not
They got
somehow, but they're taking it back. Without Sidney and they're getting up.
They got Chris Kinnett.
Right here.
John, but he doesn't.
Bounces for his time to a while. Maybe he likes to let it away. He's got himself a couple goals, but that puts up the deflection score. He's got himself a bounces for his time to a while from the flu and one of the A's under 200 pounds for his time to a while. Maybe he likes to. One of the A's under 200 pounds for his time to a while. Maybe he likes to let it away. He's got himself a couple goals. Mike Carter's. Looking for Betts, but that's tipped away. Kept in at the point by Pronger. And they roll it along. Over here. Chase it down as Betts goes after it. Brody Shelley picks up the ball. Off pitch to the slot. The white-shirted Oilers are on it. Schmid moves the red line. Now he fires Pronger again. Uses that reach, knocks the puck down. And blasts one down. And we're off the house, which is where they set up by Dubnik. Long stretch pass for Jacques, but he's denied by Coburn. Landon has it back for Edmonton. And they'll blast that one. It's grabbed by Bobrovsky. We approach the midpoint of regulation time. 3-1. Has it lead. Fire 2 and Brielle 1. The speed off the line. It's centered it. Richards trying to chop away. Could not get much anywhere on that as Gagne now steamrolled back the other way. And Gagne gripping it. Gagne will try to get his stick out of it. Coburn was there another foul. And now Carcillo off the line to the neutral zone. And slide across and Frederick winding it into Philadelphia ice. Omar will push it along the wall. And Jones comes up with it. Jones back out. Frederick shot out of everything. By a good margin. Carcillo gets to the puck as well. That is off the mark for the speed. They wave off icing at the last minute. Frederick did not know he was expecting the icing call. And he moves the puck to Linus Omar. Omar. Eyes recovered. That was a flip. He almost got put to the high stick there. More than his own stick. Now he's got the puck moving on up with it. Jeff Carter angled it in front off Dubnik. O'Donnell is there. Back around to Carter. The puck's following in the night. Carter with the pass. Giroux for the shot. And he missed it. Wow. Nice. Back around for Giroux. Giroux holding on. Walking in front. Turns. And had a pass in front. And back the other way go the Oilers. Reddick's going to go around Mazaris. Tried to set it out, but O'Donnell able to cut it off. O'Donnell to hit on there. Reddick's still trying to make a play. And he's up under. No call there, and the Flyers move back. And Riensdale open for Giroux. Giroux bracing himself for the hit from Gilbert. Trying to work through the checking of Gilbert. Goes 3-pounders there. And their second try, trying to stuff it to Giroux, but it's cut off by Gilbert. Gilbert! Oh, he nearly turned it over to Giroux. He wasn't quite in position to handle that. And here's Scotty Hartman in the puck. Long pass back, counter the shot. Dubnik to save. Saw it all the way. No problem with that one. Less than 9 minutes to play here in the second. And we're playing in the neutral zone. That's it back to Kyle. And to organize the rush. Tiger hits a cutting lane and across the line. Lane out. Trying to make the move and it was poked away by Speed. Now the other way. And he'll bounce one to the left of the Bobrovsky. Fowler's back, Warcraft right on. Pronger there looking for Leno. Leno will shovel on off to the neutral zone. Now gives him a check, but Piavi continues to control. Magnus Piavi turning with it. And Vorkop, he's having difficulty there with checking the triangle. Reno in deep, trying to help out his defenseman, Richards. Also in on the play, and now it's grounded to the puck. So often, they determine the fate of a hockey game. Flyers win that battle, and Fargo will clear the zone.
What great weight that Chris Pronger used on that little flip shot. He knew he was in trouble at least as far as the gas tank and everybody else on the ice was. Not many guys that can lag from your end all the way down to the other end and not end up guilty of icing, but Pronger can just about every time, and now the Flyers are going to get a power play.
And that power play will begin when we come back. Elbowing. Penalty has been detected. About a second out for the Flyers at 3-1 lead. Heading to that. It has been detected. About a second out for the Flyers at 3-1 lead. Heading to that.
Vitamin B.
Arizona has been helping the Canadians to their 4-game winning streak, trying to make it 5 tonight. Very rare between those two clubs, and took a last getting the start. That shows Eastern Conference standings. And between those two clubs, 4-game winning streak, trying to make it 5 tonight.
The series at 1-year to stand at that final to make it 2.
That shows Eastern Conference standings.
That ill will only goes back about 50 years.
How come Boston can't beat Montreal?
Good question. Fires to the power play, and Carter with a shot there. He's been out with Carter already with 2. And the Flyers lost the puck there and went off Cagliano all the way down.
They don't lose everything for them.
Not every one of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah, they do. Montreal's been good for a lot of years, but now they're not where Boston is in the standings, but Montreal's on a pretty good roll.
Boston is solid in the standings within 2 of the Flyers. Boston handled that puck very close to the outside area of the top of it.
More importantly, JJ, is he handled it confidently and decisively.
Recent games, he just shows signs of that. Oh, nice pass to Keenan. But his shot is blocked off by Fraser. And a cross-ice attempt by Giroux is knocked down, but he goes and gets the puck back.
To me, it was always indecision that swinged Bobrovsky into trouble.
A long, low percentage pass attempt for the Flyers on a power play right there, and puck goes all the way down.
Again, another nice handle by Bobrovsky.
52 seconds remaining on this power play. Reno finds Briere. That fake into the left wing. Down Tiedemann. Briere again. Hartman's in the high slot. The pass goes around for Reno. Reno for Tiedemann. A little passing here. Now Mazars trying to go inside, and he's blocked aside. And Lennox will move it to center ice. Faced out away by Mazars. And struggling from the red line will send it in. Another 20 seconds left on the man advantage. Here's Kimmo Timonen. He finds Briere. Briere has to move at the line, but then he's checked. And Vorkop will get to Gagne. Gilbert's joining the rush as Gagne moves up. There's the pass to Gilbert, but it was in his skates. Timonen took care of him. Power play over. McIntyre holding that elbow in minor out of the box. Flyer power play does not add to the lead.
Kind of a choppy power play, too. I mean, the Oilers deserve some credit on their kill, but the Flyers tried a lot of low percentage plays, almost like that one, with not much chance of it succeeding.
This one leads to this chance for the Oilers as Vanderweer's shot deflects and finds Glass. Having able to clear it off the stick of Plant to set it right back in. And has it again, and he grabs it across ice in his own zone. Pass ahead. Having trouble controlling the bouncing disc for Steve. Now it's Garcillo swinging in. 4:42 remaining in the second period. Each team has scored a goal here in the second. The Flyers scored 2 in the first. And it's the shot and the save made by Bobrovsky. We will be back. Still leading by Bobrovsky. We will be back. Flyers still leading by 2. 6-1. We will be back. Flyers still leading by 2.
6-1.
That the Edmonton Oilers are really missing. The former #1 pick overall last summer, and his name is Taylor Hall. He got injured on a high ankle sprain the other night in a fight in Colorado. And the bottom line of the whole thing is he's got 8 power play goals, 4 game-winning goals, leads them in shots, leads them in points. As you can see that he will drop the gloves to boot. and you miss a player like that, it hurts.
Well, of course, his injury sparking conversations. His turnaround shot lifted wide. Taken by Linus Ullmark. Ullmark has it back. Everyone wanting to know, should top players get involved in fights? As they do risk injury.
And you're right. And you know what the answer is? If you're from an organizational sense, the answer is tell your player, don't do it.
Steve trying to slide out in here.
If it's not your MO. That was Taylor Hall's first fight in the NHL. He went up against a tough guy in Dorset.
He basically initiated the fight. Dorsey was trying to protect the teammate who hit, and Dorsey said he wanted to go. So that's not a guy I would usually fight, but Hall just kept pursuing. Out of time scores upper right-hand corner of your screen on a busy and very important night in the NHL. Montreal led 2-0 lead. And the Pittsburgh Buffalo score as well. Florida was surprised there. 3-0 lead on Chicago. Blackhawks have won 8 in a row. The Devils in the hands forward Ottawa. Here's a turnover by the Flyers. Fabiano shot. Knocked off by Giroux. Local at that point in this game. It's 3-1 and whistle. And a penalty. You know, Martinez is going to go for interference behind the net, and he got in Fabiano's way. We're at the point in this game, as they announced the call, interference, that, well, you get that uneasy feeling. Edmonton sort of sticking behind the net as you got the whistle. And a penalty. You know, Martinez is going to go for interference behind the net as he got in Fabiano's way. We're at the point in this game, as they announced the call, interference, that, well, you get that uneasy feeling. Edmonton sort of sticking around.
Even right there, he gets a little bit of a hip with the Fabiano. Probably get away with it, but it was interesting enough. It was the referee who was standing in front of me here at the red line. He made the call.
Oh, well, how was the view, Betsy?
It was a pretty good view.
Okay. So you thought it was a penalty?
Yeah, Kimo made a decided move to get in the way and kind of have to call it, I think.
Third power play for the Oilers. They try to get within a goal here late in the second period. Pronger, moving on heavily. That squeeze is free. Giroux trying to get in front with stop. That's Alexander Giroux, of course. Pronger, head for Powell, and he'll fire it all the way down.
What a play by Chris Pronger. Two guys break all over him, still with the strength to one arm to puck up the boards.
A good catch by you. You almost grow accustomed to it. I don't even notice he's that good.
Yeah. Makes the real good plays look very easy.
Rowdy flipping once. Saborowski, rebound Saborowski. Jones could not get it by him, and now the Flyers with a chance to clear. And Giroux got it off the glove of Piarvi onto the neutral zone. Well, Bobrovsky came up big right there. Back come the Oilers. Piarvi weaving his way into Jones. Now Cogliano. No deal to Gagne. Gagne down low. Cogliano around the other side. Centered it. It slid on through. Able to get it is Foster. 38 seconds in the power play to Gagne. Gagne with a shot that deflects off Mazzaros and out of play.
This is just a huge kill so far for the Flyers digging in. I agree with you, JJ. This game is up for grabs if Edmonton gets one. That's the play I was talking about with Pronger having two guys on him and just poke the puck up the boards. But then Sergei Bobrovsky, boy, he seals everything off down low so well.
And then a little different look from the Edmonton Oilers, too. Good passing, very quick puck movement. They're trying to get it back to Foster. He's the guy that's got the big shot from the point. Big man at 6'5". Coming into this game, he had 160 shots from the point.
3 power play goals. Flyers get the puck all the way down, though. Now here's Horcoff. This is the puck to the Philadelphia line. Into it deep. Puck skips out to the slot. Betts is there, and he will scoop one all the way down. I believe time to just begin one more rush on the power play for the Oilers. 1:20 remaining in the period. Horcoff unimpeded through center. Stopped by Coburn. And Coburn was hoping for Timonin out of the box, but about a second or two too early. The puck just went harmlessly down the edge. The Flyers are back to full strength. Boston got it to center, laying on it there, quickly across from Mazzaros. Mazzaros will drill it in, guys up late for Hartman behind the zone. Retouch, they do. Then into the puck, spins, but he's knocked down. Moving the other way is Reddix. And Reddix will send it to the Philadelphia zone and chase and get to it himself. Get to the other corner, but the Flyers are all over that. Foul. Out to center. Vladimir backs that down. Bounces it right back in. Goes up to 10 shots for the game. And of course, only had one in the first period. Briere wipes out, lost the puck. Here's Cogliano turning with it. His pass. One-time shot goes wide. Garvey missing the target. Reddick has it, centered it. Intercepted by Briere, but he hesitated, and Garvey knocked it away from him. 34 seconds remaining in the period. Shot for play, easy stick save for Bobrovsky off of plant. Now Vladimir sweeping it down low, PRV. 15 seconds in the period. Garvey turning it back around behind for Cogliano. Centered it, shot. That shot is tipped by Nazaros to the corner. Now Plant. Back around behind. Great pressure from the Oilers here. The Oilers into the period. Here's puck. Vladimir back at it. So the Westy rebound. Jones on and the horn sounds. And the Flyers should be happy to get to the locker. Still leading by 2. Bobrovsky busy toward the end. Reed set up on the lone Edmonton goal. It is 3-1 Flyers over the Stanley Cup final. Tonight's Flyers over the second period was brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. No matter where you are in life or business, we have plans that fit. Go to plansthatfit.com. Buy your Quality Plus full chat.
Being enclosed.
He comes back tonight with the Oilers have
second period up for the Flyers. Senator Devin Duden. The push. They outchanced the Flyers 8-4 in the second period. And pretty well out everything the Flyers except outscored them. Each team was one in that period, so the Flyers have that precious 2-goal lead. It's been tough for them to deal with in third periods, and gaining advantages has been tough for the Flyers in third periods.
And so we are underway, yes. Third period has been a bugaboo for the Flyers here. Late that, but quickly and out. The goaltender Devin Duden able to make the save off of Carcillo. See the numbers for these situation. Decent numbers for the Flyers in the third period. Have not been good.
1 game apiece.
Something they've got to fix. This is a very important period of hockey for the Flyers right here. Richards, Silverstein, it's chipped away. Although he couldn't clear. It's in the air. Chipped by Carcillo, but played by Gilbert. Had to be Ivy. He wound up in the glass and blocked by Poirier. Then he tips it ahead for Richards. He's at the end of a shift. They're backhand in and head off the ice. And Vandermeer picks it up. As the Flyers moves that puck up to the side. And the puck back down. Teaming gathers for Philadelphia. Nice setup on the third Flyer goal. Next here is Giroux. Has some difficulty. It's Giroux having difficulty with Alexander. Giroux centering fast. And Reddick is tipped away. Reddick trying to stay with it. Carter knocked down. And Vandermeer keeps it in. And then Carter on the second try. Stuffed at the center, but it did something on the Philadelphia bench.
You know, we always talk about the different types of check. So this is going to be a sweep check. Watch, Mazzaro. Oh yeah, Cogliano's right there. Now, Bobrovsky's on the other side. Right there. That's a sweep check. You see that? You got that puck out of there? That's what we're going to call it. Okay, that's what we're going to call it. That's our Wells Fargo great sweep check. I know it's not exactly falling right underneath the desk.
Coach, have you ever sold refrigerators to Eskimos?
Go!
Get him to tell me the story about his bouncing check.
There was just 5.
You're trying on that one.
Well,
It was a good effort.
it was. Obviously, it didn't go.
There have been some hits in the game. Actually, others, but a few more hits than the Flyers P2 period. That wasn't effective. That's played. That was a television call. Check is down there moving up. Was checked right there. It was a little bit of a sweep check. Now sent in by Ryan Jones. Right in the puck. He got through Sam down there. And the puck will roll on the tag out to the neutral zone. Quiet beginning to his third period. 2 minutes in. Rose with back and chase. Hutton around. He keeps it in. He's going to have to start practice. Now he's got to deal with Volkov. And still got that puck ahead. But how he could. No ice in here. He goes back to 20 year. Over out to Volkov. Volkov holding on. Gets some room blast. That's blocked. Now to that third is on. I know he has it. I believe lost control as he tried to move out and tell Bobrovsky to accept that puck and cover. We've got plenty of stuff to talk about. Wins it up at 5 on Phillies great Mike Schmidt. Phillies top sports writers talk about the Jays and sport topics. Don't miss the best Phillies sports talk. During his live today at AT&T. That's tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. It is only on Comcast Sportsnet. Schmidt usually is very interesting. And back into the back. Get away from Carcillo, and the only out of the puck is going to go, so offside whistle.
Flyers will take that because the Oilers have been pretty good since the beginning of the second period, just getting pucks in deep and establishing their forecheck. And really, they grabbed the page from the Flyers' first period book, and I think that's what the Flyers have to get back to, is remembering how they dominated the first period. Never mind fancy plays in the neutral zone unless they're high percentage plays or near the blue line. Get pucks in deep and continue the forecheck. It's hard for Edmonton to score from behind their net.
Flyers kept that puck in momentarily, but now moving around is Cagliano with speed with a shot. Save Bobrovsky. Cagliano can flat out fly once he gets those legs in gear. Now the Flyers have it. It's for speed. At the right wing, cuts to the middle. There's it off for O'Donnell. O'Donnell holding on. Sending it far off, which is sticking wide. Speed to the puck. He's going to like the center ice. This Ponder trade. That's cut wide. Narrow out to O'Donnell. And we'll just slip it to center ice. This Ponder, of course, spent 1 year in Edmonton, went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then basically lost out. And they needed to say right side Edmonton, and they wanted to move along. And he was moved. This will be icing as back goes down to there for the touch-up.
The Edmonton Oilers have not made the playoffs since that year. 2006 when they were to the finals. Chris Pronger on a long list of Flyers players who are former first-round picks. Now, Pronger wasn't drafted by the Flyers, but when you take a look at the Toyota Cup standings, some first-rounders in that group as well. The Flyers have a total of 12 former first-round picks on their roster. Edmonton with a total of 11. 5 of the first-round picks for Philadelphia were actually Flyers choices. 8 of Edmonton's 11 first-round picks were Oiler originals.
So a lot of blue chippers either way.
23 first-rounders combined on the two rosters. Now, they're not all in the lineup tonight. We talked about Taylor Hall going over the high ankle sprain, but that's a lot of blue-chip stuff right there, baby.
No question about it. In general, you're going to build successful teams if you get a lot of those. You know, some first-round picks that don't pan out with the Houston, at least to some degree, with the way to the NHL. No icing call here as we approach the 4-minute mark of this third period. When you're in a losing streak, sometimes the mentality, you try to avoid this, but there's that mentality that something bad is about to happen. I think the Flyers are fighting through that right now. They're playing cautiously during the third, trying not to make a mistake. Try to get through it, right through it. Driving. Check, Ponder reaching for it. All over around with that wings out, the puck in front to Ponder. And now here's Carter. Link wide feed. Well, Lincoln out of
that play is a typical example of what I'm talking about. Here come the Oilers again. If Jeff Carter had taken one more stride, he could have gotten the puck in deep himself.
Here's Everly trying to do some nifty maneuvering, getting front. Horkoff back out, spread with shot. And went high through some traffic. Lindbergh poking at the puck, did not come up here, lost his stick, but the Flyers get the puck and Pronger get the Carter. This time he went for it in.
He needs to change at the end of the shift, but that's the smart play in a game like this.
We talked about the idea at the beginning of the game. If you see that kid just pick up that puck and fly down the side of the ice, man, can he push?
There's Fargo on either side of this only meeting of the season between the Flyers and Oilers. We're on Comcast Sportsnet. And a great feed. It's going to be a long lead. Here's the Flyers trying to get back on the winning track. He's there up the right wing in the middle. Hartnell tried to move that pass good and could not. It's stepped in by Coburn. Smooth. Overskated. Hartnell. Nothing to touch the wall. The Cagliano got there. And Oilers move up. Through the middle is Lennox with some speed. There's a wide opportunity to stay right with him and takes him to the wall. He wrapped it up some, but so now the Flyers will move it to the line and not out. Never do get it out. Hallmark will put the puck back to Gagne. Gagne from the angle shot. Save right out in front. Hartnell is there to rescue. make the deep and carry it up. 3-on-2 developing for the Flyers. Hartnell slows down as he gets to the line there, and the play goes outside.
Well, another reminder that next season's full and partial ticket packages are on sale. They're on sale right now, and Flyers season ticket holders receive really some amazing benefits, including discounts from box office pricing, playoff priority, flexible payment plans. So reserve your tickets now by calling 215-218-PUCK.
Oilers gain control off the draw. Here's Vandermeer. And off the stick. No market into the Philadelphia zone. Shelley, quick little tip pass to Betts. Betts moving up. He's going to wind it deep open for Kyle, but Dubnyk will cut that one off behind the net. Foster up the wall. Jones tries to clear camp. O'Donnell, the shot. Let it bodies. Over Vandermeer. And never got to the net. And the puck doesn't get to center. Here's Betts. Looking for either Powell or Carcillo, and it goes back off the center line. O'Donnell for Shelley. Shelley, the other headed receiver that pass. Anyone got there as the Oilers tipped it out to the neutral zone. And the Oilers come back to Philadelphia. Nice good play there by Shelley. Knocked it back to center. Plant gets the Reddick, but the play is called on the outside. 13:26 remaining in the first. Let's read it. John takes Max Pacioretty. Eventually got credit for that goal, poking it in. There's the race for the President's Trophy, the number 1 overall seed. Vancouver Flyers in Detroit have had some losses of late. That's allowed Boston, Washington, and even Pittsburgh to climb into that mix. Boston are losing tonight. That's by 3-0. Pittsburgh is ahead in their game, 2-1 over Buffalo. Right here, it's 3-1 Philadelphia. O'Donnell. Right here, it's 3-1 Philadelphia. O'Donnell. Richards. Navigating his way to the neutral zone. And a shot off the wing wide. Wiley able to get to the puck, but Richards nearly was able to get away from him. But now Schmid ahead to Jacques. Jacques tested from behind by Versteeg. They say the player is onside. Wiley turns, his shot goes off the shin pad wide. Passes back out. Jack Foster blocked by Carcillo. He felt that one. And he is gimpy. He's on one leg right now trying to make his way over to the Philadelphia bench. And of course, the puck finds him, so he tries to make a play. And he does deflect it in, but he's now hobbling to the bench. Here's Horcoff. Charging the center. Checked by Carter. Knocked down. Play was offside. Flyers get the puck back.
Flyers would sure like to establish some kind of forecheck here to chew away at the clock, because they've had virtually no first-man pressure, or for that matter, any forechecking that's been sustained since the middle part of this game. And it's a lot easier eating up the clock in the other end.
They're just waiting right now, guys. Billy, they're just waiting for the opportunity to come back with a counterattack.
Obviously, the puck here is Carter tried to center, but it's snuffed out. And Vandermeer to Alexander Giroux. Moyer steps into him.
Right on cue. Flyers start with a sustained forecheck. Really the first forecheck of the period.
Oilers break out 2-on-2. A forward is back. There's Cagliano, the shot. Saborowski in the rebound. Batted to the corner. Cagliano got it back to the point plant. There's a problem. They got the forecheck, but Farmer ended up getting caught. Here's a pass. Right. Getting it to Cagliano, spinning away from the check. Changing direction, back to Strudwick. Sails one wide. Plant at it again. Now behind the net, trying to step in front. Reddick's loose puck, and Bobrovsky able to find it and cover up. No time to give the answer to our deep trivia question. We asked what current Flyer player recorded the first ever successful penalty shot goal in the Stanley Cup final games. Was Steve Briere or Pronger? Chris Pronger in Game 1 of the 2006 season, Stanley Cup Finals as a member of the Edmonton Oilers. Beat Cam Ward. We were all trying to think back to a penalty shot goal for the Flyers in last year's final.
Yeah, we would have remembered that. It had to be Chris Pronger.
Or Versteeg against the Flyers.
Right. Yeah. We would have remembered that.
Right.
So simple, a 7-year-old should have been able to figure that out.
Exactly. We couldn't. What does that say? Don't answer that question.
That means I played 9 years in the NHL without a helmet.
At least you have an excuse. I have none. We have now played over 9 minutes here in the third. Still a 3-1 hockey game. We have now played over 9 minutes here in the third. Still a 3-1 hockey game.
6-0 hockey game.
And his 5
Game
shots
3.
on goal here in the third. 4 of them belong to Edmonton. Teaming it. Sends the puck around the other way. Speed is there now. Colby, his opposite number, will just backhand it to center. Briere looking for Gilbert. As it worked away by Briere. And got that stick near the midsection, but got away with it. Alreno centered for Hardo. Dubnyk says no rebound. Briere. Dubnyk just puts that big body in the way and gave him very little to shoot at. There's by far the best flurry the Flyers have had here in the third. Really, since about midway through the second.
And just an indication of how the game has changed. I mean, Devin Dubnyk was by far the most obvious and visible player in the first period because he had to be. And how many saves has he really had to make since then?
Not many. Not many at all. Now the Flyers gain center with speed, but they are outside as Richards enters his own. Casilla is still in. Past the midpoint, period number 3. All right, guys, thank you. March Madness is here in college basketball. March Madness NHL style. March Madness. All right, guys, thank you. March Madness is here in college basketball.
Game 3 of the Stanley Cup final.
NHL style is here too.
Game 4.
The playoff positions now. Montreal's a 4-0 lead now on Boston.
Game 5.
Montreal. So the Flyers getting some help in terms of the battle for number 1 seed in the East from the Canadiens.
The Edmonton Oilers.
Flyers have to take care of their own business, of course. That's the most important thing.
Stanley Cup postseason.
Flyers have to take care of their own business from the Canadiens. Flyers have to take care of their own. A lot of work to do. Hartnell with a cross ice pass to Billy Leno. Leno in the back line for Briere, and then right back behind the net, off of Leno to Hartnell. He tries to get it behind the net. Vandermeer able to keep it away from both Leno and Briere. Ian Lennox. With the Philadelphia zone. Back after it. Now it's O'Donnell. Right off Leno, and it does deflect to center ice. Foster will get the puck to Colin Fraser. Now Edmonton looks to organize the rush. Eberle stepping around Hartnell, but did not get past Pronger. Pronger to Hartnell in the middle for Richards. Off to Versteeg. Versteeg holds the shot. And Dubnyk able to make the save and hang on.
Let's take a look at our Southwest Airlines saves of the game. This comes at the end of the second period. Sergei Bobrovsky. Not one, not two. Here comes another one. Bang, right in the slot area. He's just moving from post to post all over the place. The Edmonton Oilers came with a real rush at the end of that period. And that is our Southwest Airlines plural saves of the game.
That was huge right there. Keeping the Flyers up by 2. And they walked through right there as Richards tried to tuck that one home, but could not. And the Oilers have it. Reed runs it into the Philadelphia zone. Bobrovsky out. It's a confident play, but Volkov knocked out his good. Priscilla winds up with the puck. And now Richards will watches Versteeg sneaks the puck into the zone. Richards heading off on a change, but look out. Here come the Oilers. Horkoff to the Philadelphia line. Horkoff to the RV. Shot in. Bobrovsky sneaks that one away. Vandermeer battling to keep it in. Puck is in the escape. Giroux in after it. Picking up the puck. Got it to the line, but not out. Good keep by Alexander Giroux. He got it off a shot that was blocked. And now the other way. Flyers with a chance here. Teaming it with the pass. Oh, and he loses Versteeg. He would have most likely had a breakaway.
To take a hop?
Must have.
Looked like it was right on the money.
It did. It took a hop right at the last second. This one was about to hit the blade, and he was in full flight, and actually the pass was right on the money. The problem was that last hop.
Long pass to the Philadelphia zone. Flyers handle that. And it is done. Referee foul to O'Donnell. 7:40 to play here in the third. Zaros whip it in from the red line. Carter. Wow, hoping for Giroux. He could not handle it. Oilers try to move back in transition. Adriano again trying to use that speed, but offside. Called at the line.
Timo Timonen has been been so active offensively. Jumped up in the play here. Didn't even telegraph his pass, but this thing was kind of an end-over-ender the whole way, wasn't it?
He wanted to move it quickly, but in so doing, ran the risk of that bouncing, and it did indeed bounce over Versteeg's stick. Flyers are gaining control again off the neutral zone cross. Flyers are in Toronto Thursday, back home against Canada. Saturday, games against teams that are desperate for points. The remainder of this week, and then a road trip next week. Here's Schmid. From behind his net. Pass to Gagne. Gagne from the blue line, winding it deep to Philadelphia. Up to the puck there. Shelley. Getting it a second try. And now Pronger. Pronger will gain the red line and hit the linesman with his dump, but Powell's a little further. Now Powell ends up tangled up over by the Edmonton bench. Nothing too serious develops there. Sam Gagne, jitterbug to center ice, and getting to Yarvi. Yarvi makes the move in front of Gagne, and it found glass. And I think the Rocks got a piece of that. Yarvi knocks down. Stuck it to the other side, but there is Horkoff. Pass off, 2-minute stick. Yarvi back active. Leno is there. It's been a long time. You have to go back before the All-Star break. The last time the Flyers scored 4 goals in regulation time into a tended net. They have 3 here. They'll look to get their 4th here. Briere moving up. Briere for Hartnell, tipped away. Loose puck. Leno. Side of the net. Now back out in front. And that one eluded Hartnell. Briere could not get in the puck. Back goes team when they get their disc in the Philadelphia zone. Demo looking things over as he moves up. Fired that one into the zone, and it's icing as Vandermeer touches up.
Well, your only way to guarantee seats for the most exciting hockey of the season is to call now and reserve club box seats. Don't miss your chance to see hard-hitting playoff hockey from a premium lower-level seat. The number's 215-389-9500. Operators are standing by right now.
I gave you that note, guys, about the Flyers having not scored more than 3 in regular. That note, guys, about the Flyers having not scored more than 3 in regulation without an empty netter since before the All-Star break. What makes that amazing is before the All-Star break, they had not gone more than 3 straight games without scoring 4 goals in the regulation time. Timeout called by Peter Laviolette right here. So Peter Laviolette, 5:34 to go, icing. Ref wants his players rested. Also got some things to say. Well, you're looking right there at the 4 major sports and the biggest turnarounds from first half to second half of the season. Why do we show you this? We're at the Braves in baseball, the Canadians back to 79-80. The Nuggets, remember them, they made a great playoff run on the Green Bay Packers in 1984. We show you this because this year the New Jersey Devils are making quite a turnaround.
They would shatter the hockey percentage.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 19-2-2 in their last 23.
Right. Yes. And they're down to Ottawa almost 2-1. That would be a devastating
in the playoffs
for the Devils. I mean, they have to win
the Flyers.
maybe 1 or 2 of their remaining games because they have so many teams they have to find. But they're once 27 points now.
Yeah.
And the largest deficit ever overcome for a team to make the playoffs is 12. To give you an idea of how big the task is. And it's still a long way to go, but
3-0.
lost to Ottawa at home would really. Flyers have the Devils only 1 more time this year. Meantime, the Flyers after the timeout. And the 2-goal lead here. And to seal this one away. Alexander Giroux gets to the puck, steered into the. Meantime, the Flyers after the timeout. And the 2-goal lead here.
6 goals.
And to seal this one away. Alexander Giroux gets to the puck, steered into the corner. This is free. The Flyers have it. Richards out there with his glove and now puts it down. Moves it up with his stick and fires in. Dubnik. Now for Alexander Giroux. out to center and play back in. Flyers will be outside if they touch the puck in the zone. They did not. The play carries on. Alexander Giroux gets it back to Van Leer. Now Foster. It's one in from center. Took a strange clearing off of Bobrovsky, but he's handled. He's down to Van Riemsdyk. No play to Edmonton ice. Through Schmid. Powdering on in. Jeff Carter picks the puck free. Finds Van Riemsdyk. Riemsdyk fanning on that pass, though. Didn't get enough on it. Snyder's Omar the other way to Sam Gagner. They say it's onside. Gagner's shot blocked. Carter a chance to move back in transition. He finds Van Riemsdyk. Moving up. The pass to Giroux. Giroux holding on. His pass back across. A fast pass that is taken back by the Oilers. Gagner ran into some traffic behind the net, but there was Omar, but he then whiffs on a pass. But sitting around, bouncing around. Giroux reaching for it. Tried the pass into the middle, but that was Omar. And he finds Gagner moving up. Sam Gagner to the Philadelphia line. To Piarvi. Magnus Piarvi around behind. Back in front. Gagner shot. Save the Bobrovsky. He's able to scramble and cover on the loose puck. Less than 4 minutes to play in the third. Still 3-1 to Philadelphia. Shot. Less than 4 minutes to play in the third. Still 3-1 Philadelphia.
6-0.
3-1 the Flyers lead you. Let's take a look at our Toyota 30 players. Jeff Carter's got a couple of goals. Let's take a look at one in the second period. Face-off when it all begins. Now watch Carter. He goes to the net. Teeman. What a great job Teeman did. Came in from his left point position. Vandermeer went after him. That left Carter all by himself. Teeman put a great pass right onto the stick of Carter. That's how we stand right now. 3-1.
Still 3:53 to play, though.
3:53 to play in game 3.
Still 3:53 to play, though.
And Flyers at 1 game apiece.
There's some anxious moments around the Flyers net moments ago.
Before the Stanley Cup final.
There's a nice outlet pass. Carl again, this time to Versteeg. Versteeg looks for Carter! And it was tipped away as he... Again, this time to Versteeg. Versteeg looks for Carter! And it was tipped away as he tried to bang it home. And in fact... broken stick for Horikoff as that puck goes back out in front. Conger lines and blasts wide. Horikoff made the play on Carter. He got hit from getting his third, and here come the Oilers back. Heavily could not handle that pass. It was behind him. He's then finished by Conger. And Versteeg to the puck. And he will simply float one out to the neutral zone. Oilers have outshot the Flyers 7-4 here in the third period. Flyers outshot Edmonton 17-1 in the first, but it's now 26-19. So the Oilers are 19. Set into that significantly. Only one has gotten past Bobrovsky. Flyers do not get the puck deep at the Edmonton line. And back comes Reddick. The backhand save, rebound, save, another rebound, save Bobrovsky. 2 huge saves on rebounds. Jab shot again right around the blue paint. And it's still 3-1, but Bobrovsky, the reason why. Now Leno trying to clear. Got some help from Teeman. Happy as the reason why.
Now
trying to Flyer to fail to get the puck in deep at the offensive blue line, and the Oilers came storming back. What a series of saves, though, by Sergei Bobrovsky with his pads.
And the cross-ice pass is knocked down. Here come the Oilers. The shot Alexander Giroux in the save made by Bobrovsky. Sam Gagner tangled up with Briere. His pass to the middle. Piarvi. His shot blocked by Lazarus. And Gagner back after. Lets Gilbert play it. Gilbert turning. Gilbert for Piarvi. Piarvi's pass. Around behind the net. I was able to get their team on a nice read. Got it to Leno. Leno will get to the red line and get the puck into the Edmonton zone. Less than 2 minutes to play. Quick pass up. Go to Gagner. He'll wind up. Fire! Save it. Crawls up over the shoulder. And then it slipped away as it fell to the ice as Richards got it out of harm's way. You just knew this wasn't going to be easy.
The Flyers have made it tough on themselves there, JJ. They've not gotten the puck deep enough, consistently enough in the Edmonton zone, and the Oilers give them credit. They move the puck really well, and they're really fast. I mean, their counterattack, when you give them a chance, is really strong.
Another turnover in the neutral zone by the Flyers, and Foster, they play it in. Dubnik's heading to the bench. Extra attacker is on. Foster shot deflected. Walked in front. Heavily overskates. Can't get it out of the zone. And Versteeg pitches it toward the empty net, but they won't make it there. Schmid is back. 1:05 to play right now. Schmid is back. 1:05 to play right now in this third period. Schmid cleverly
Stanley Cup final.
Philadelphia. Damien is back. Is it out
The Flyers will look for a 2-1 series lead. 6-0. 42 minutes without a goal.
There by Giroud. It's socked down the ice. It will not have enough steam for icing.
Gilbert by Sergei Bobrovsky.
Amazing players. Turns it over. Betts is there. And the Edmonton native scores into
YouTube.
down the ice. It will not have enough steam for icing. Gilbert throws it into amazing players. Turns it over. Betts is there. And the Gilbert throws it into amazing players. Turns it over. Betts is there. And the Edmonton native scores into the empty goal.
Of the playoffs. 7-0 play.
To put this one away. 4-1.
7-0.
Good sigh of relief from all of the guys wearing orange and black in this one. The Flyers will pick up 2 really valuable points in this hockey game, and I don't think anyone would say it's a masterpiece, but you don't get any extra points for style. So after an unbelievably dominant first period, the Flyers have just kept chugging along, kind of grinding it out, and they didn't make it that easy on themselves, but they get 2 points. Very valuable 2 points.
And you think about just what those 2 points in the W does to the confidence for Giroud, the only assist, he ends up with a 2-assist. Move the puck back in. The puck down.
The Flyers win, and they will enter the series for Game 4. 2-1 is our Game Series lead, and the final score 7-0.
The Edmonton Oilers,
7-0
is history.
And that will be Game 3 win.
Losing streak is history. 4-1 your final.
Game 4
is history.
They will look for a 3-1 series lead.
That guy, Devin Dubnyk, was the only reason this game was close. And that guy, Devin,
4-game losing streak
Bobrovsky
is history.
The Flyers.
And that guy, Devin,
A 4-game losing streak is
Bobrovsky,
history.
first Stanley Cup
and that
shutout.
guy, Devin Dubnyk.
Game losing
The
streak
Edmonton Oilers
is history.
for the first time here in the postseason.
And that guy, Devin,
20
4-game
games,
losing streak.
no goals being scored.
And that guy, Devin Dubnyk, was the only reason this game was close, because the Flyers were so all over Edmonton in the first period. And a guy that delivered most of the damage, our Bud Light player of the game, Jeff Carter. He knew how to get open and knew to keep his stick on the ice. A couple of times players found him, including him from Timo Timonen. First Flyer to hit the 30-goal mark this year, Jeff Carter, our Bud Light player of the game.
And so for the first time in nearly a decade, the Philadelphia Flyers have beat the Edmonton Oilers. Final score, the Flyers will still on top. The Edmonton Oilers 4-1. Time in nearly a decade, the Philadelphia Flyers have beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-1.
The Stanley Cup final 2-1.
Of the Eastern Conference. And the Flyers will still be on top of the Eastern Conference. Tonight's Flyers are